in a half hour. Here's a riddle for you. What do the Rockets and Paul Allen have in common the last couple of seasons? The answer? Well, they both own the Portland Trailblazers. Rockets looking for their 8th straight win in the series and 3rd straight at the Rose Garden. As we head to Portland, we join Bill Worrell and Matt Bullard. And guys, first of all, before we talk about tonight's game, give us a little idea of what's going on for classical entertainment going on behind you. It's square dance tonight at the Rose Garden.
Oh, yeah, Kevin. I think we're getting ready for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo up here in Portland as a little Alaman right, do-si-do, swing your partner around. How about that?
I'll tell you what, Bill, don't ask me to dance, please.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Bob Wills would be proud of us up here, though, in Portland. Well, the Houston Rockets have had a couple of days off. In fact, they took a side trip to Las Vegas for about a day and a half, and they're back here in Portland ready to resume action. But what a fourth quarter they had in Sacramento.
Wow. That is some great basketball. I'll tell you what, the Rockets have really had some poor fourth quarters this season. They've led or been tied in the fourth quarter 6 times and lost. This time, they finally come out with a great fourth quarter and get it done.
Yeah, scoring 33-6, and I thought Luther Head really did a good job. He came in late in the third quarter. He was able to break down their defense a little bit, and then Yao Ming took over inside.
Well, that's how you win basketball games. You know, when the game's in the fourth quarter, you've got to make the plays. And you see Tracy McGrady, he's making the plays, but he had a lot of help from other guys, too.
Well, he really did, and one of those guys, Luther Head. Now, he did not play the entire game in Sacramento. Finally, at the end of the third quarter, Jeff Van Gundy got him into the game, and Luther made some things happen.
Well, that's a key to a great player. If you can sit the entire game and then play the last 19 minutes of the game, you're a great player. Now, Luther Head, what he has been able to do is obviously hit shots. He's shooting 48% from the three-point line, but he's also been able to create shots for his teammates. The Rockets are last in the NBA in points in the paint. Luther Head was able to get the ball inside and distribute the basketball to some of the guys who could dunk.
Well, we're about out of here, Kevin. I tell you, this do-si-do's got me going.
Tonight's Toyota keys to the game looking like this. It could be the big man, Yao Ming, led the Rockets in scoring with 21 points per game in the 4 contests against the Portland Trailblazers a year ago. Rockets, of course, going 4-0 last season against Portland, and they've won 7 in a row at the hands of the Portland Trailblazers. There's a Toyota keys to the game. Tonight it is, of course, the Rockets' first trip of the season to Portland, which means Derek Anderson returns to the city he called home for the last 4 seasons. Check out today's Houston Chronicle. You'll know that, well, DA and Portland GM John Nash probably didn't go lunch today. Here is DA. He's visiting with Bill Worrell.
Derek, it's hard to remember the last game. It seems like we've been out here a long time. I thought the trip to Vegas kind of broke up the monotony a little bit.
It did. We kind of got away from it. We played well, kind of just sat back and, you know, took ourselves a chance to not just focus on sitting around and waiting on the game, kind of being anxious. So it was good, and we got good practice yesterday, so we're ready.
That final quarter in Sacramento made up for a lot of the early season. I thought it was a good combination you had in there in terms of defense and offense.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Coach knows what he's doing at the end of the games. He knows the guys are going well. If you're not going well, he kind of puts you in that situation. Luther came in and gave us some big shots, and the rest of us were just playing hard-nosed defense, led by Tracy, of course, and it worked out for us.
Yeah, you tend to maybe lean on Tracy a little too much at times, and I thought that you and Luther Head and some of the other guys picked it up.
We did. We were sharing the ball. We were moving the ball. Stromae was following up shots. We still getting it to Yao. Luther was being aggressive. He had some shots. I got to the free throw line. So we played an all-around game as a unit, but like you said, it was the defensive end that really got us going on the other end.
Derek, coming back to Portland, and you hear so much about a player coming back to a former team. Of course, sometimes if you go to several teams, that can wear off a little bit. But coming back to Portland, what's the feeling for you here tonight?
It was great, man. The organization and everybody treated me fair, and everything was good. Just the situation with the general manager, he wanted to go other ways. Went about it differently than we'd like, but he wanted to go a different way, and, it didn't work out, and I was blessed to get another chance to go play and continue my career on in basketball. So, I'll leave it at that. But the fans, the organization, the people, unbelievable people. I was here 4 years, and it was just great being around people like that, because once I get done playing, people will be able to respect that.
Well, when you come from an organization like San Antonio to Portland, and it was okay for you the first couple of years, then when the organization is not as good, it's good to get back out of there to a good organization again.
Yeah, it's definitely great, and that's what you need. That's what you always want to be and play for. And it was just great getting back into a situation where I could play basketball and not have a whole lot of other stuff outside. bothering us on the court.
And I think not playing last year, it looks like you're finally getting your basketball legs again. Is that right?
Yeah, finally starting to, go be aggressive, finish at the hole. Forgot I could even dunk.
Well, keep it going. I hope you get a few tonight.
All right, thanks, Pat.
Kevin, let's go back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Derek Anderson speaking very highly of the owner, Paul Allen, the president, of course, Steve Patterson, and his head coach, Maurice Cheeks. Not so much about the general manager in today's Chronicle. Time for us to take that final break before we get you ready for NBA hoops. Tip-off right around the corner. Stay with us. Our Toyota upcoming schedule. Rockets play 7 of their next 9 on the road. In fact, they only have one more home game before Christmas. That's Wednesday, December 21st, when they host the Toronto Raptors. But the upcoming schedule looking like this as the road trip will continue in Golden State on Wednesday night, a game you can see right here on FSN. In fact, you can follow this road trip just about exclusively here on FSN. That will be also the 15th at Seattle, then on Channel 51 at 2:30 start on Saturday, as the LA Clippers are the opponent at Staples Center, and then they stay right there in Los Angeles, where on Sunday night you can see the game right here starting at 8:30 with the pregame Rockets at the Lakers on Sunday night. Houston Rockets have won 3 out of 4 since that man has been back in the lineup, Tracy McGrady, and he's back in the lineup again tonight as the Rockets have won 7 in a row over the Portland Trail Blazers, looking to make it 8 straight tonight as they visit the Rose Garden, a building in which they swept this team a year ago in that building. Yao Ming, 21 points is what he averaged in the 4 wins last year at the hands, and Yao Ming looks like he's been beat up a little bit. That is life in the NBA. But the Rockets continuing this 6-game road trip, stop number 2, looking for their second, make it 3rd consecutive win, and 2nd straight on this road trip when they take on Portland. We will tip it off. Bill Worrell, Matt Bullard standing by with the call of the game. It's coming up next. Enjoy.
The Rockets have a win streak, thanks to a stellar 4th quarter against the Kings. Tonight, the Rockets face the struggling Trailblazers, but be warned, it could get messy. Trailblazers and Rockets, next on FSN Houston. Live from the great Northwest and the beautiful Rose Garden, FSN Houston presents Houston Rockets basketball. And tonight, the Rockets taking on the young Portland Trailblazers. Hi, everybody. I'm Bill Worrell. Good to have you with us for the 2nd game of this 6-game road trip out west. The last time the Rockets played, Thursday night, they defeated Sacramento with a big 4th quarter. They went to Las Vegas, took a day and a half off, had some R&R, and it was back to work with a hard practice yesterday here in Portland, ready to go with the rest of this road trip. And Matt Bullard coming into this game now. The Rockets are hoping to keep this winning streak going.
Well, they're playing a very young Portland Trailblazers team, but the Trailblazers are without Darius Miles, their leading scorer, so I expect the Rockets to win tonight, but you never know here in the Rose Garden.
Well, right now, Tracy McGrady and Yao Ming are playing well together. They accounted for half of the points against Sacramento Thursday night.
Well, Tracy McGrady looks like his back is feeling better. You see this play right here. Not too many guys can finish that shot, but his wind is still a little bit low. Still trying to get back in shape. Now, Yao Ming, on the other hand, he's playing some serious basketball. He really took it to the Sacramento Kings. Tonight, he's going to be playing against a South Korean player, Ha, who's a very, very big, over 7-footer.
What's interesting about Yao now, he's beginning to push through that 30-minute barrier. He is getting stronger in the 4th quarter. He's beginning to deal out the punishment to the opponent rather than the other way around. Now in Sacramento the other night, when Jeff Van Gundy turned to his bench, that bench came through. That's something the Rockets haven't had earlier in the season.
Yeah, the bench has been very inconsistent. But I'll tell you what, Derek Anderson is starting to get things rolling. Now, he is a former Portland Trailblazer. He's got something to prove here tonight. His jumper's starting to fall. And then how about Stromile Swift last game? He really got it going. He is a highlight waiting to happen. And my guy, Luther Head, I love the way he plays. He's hitting shots. He's creating. He's a guy that the Rockets really need to be on the court in crunch time.
It's time now for the Toyota Power Team. Keys to the game.
Well, the first key is keep that bench hot. They had 37 points last game. They need to do that tonight. Key number 2, shoot with confidence. Last game against Sacramento, the Rockets shot 48%. That was the best this season. And key number 3, score more than 90 points. The Rockets are 0-11 if they don't score 90 points.
So the Houston Rockets now trying to make it 3 wins in a row. We'll see what happens against the young Trailblazers. We've got the tip-off coming up next on FSN Houston. Again, everybody, and welcome back to the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon, as the Rockets get ready for their second game on this 6-game road trip. And it has already been a pretty long 4 days now, as the Rockets winning Thursday night in Sacramento, then having 3 days off before playing here tonight. Let's go to the starting lineups. And it'll be Tracy McGrady, David Wesley, Yao Ming, Ryan Bowen, and Juwan Howard.
No sponsorship tonight.
Tracy McGrady back tonight. And Portland Trailblazers, Martell Webster, Sebastian Telfair, Joel Prisbilla, Zach Randolph, Victor Harappa. So we're just about ready to go now. Derek Anderson, excited to be back on this court where he played the last 3 seasons for the Portland Trailblazers, and he'll try to get some points for the Houston Rockets tonight. Welcome back to the Rose Garden as we're just about ready to go here tonight. As you come into Portland from the airport, the first billboard you see is Go Portland Trailblazers, and then you see a big picture of Nate McMillan on it, and you wonder if you're in the right city or not. Usually he has been, for the last 20-plus years, a member of the Seattle Supersonics family. And that's where he played. Played for 12 seasons with the Supersonics, and then he coached for the last 5 years with Seattle. So Nate McMillan now in the offseason making his home here in Portland, and he's a good coach. He was a heck of a defensive player when he played at Seattle, an excellent ball club that he was on for many, many years, and now he brings his expertise, and he is also an assistant coach now on the Olympic team, as he will be trying to bring the gold medal back with Mike Krzyzewski. So Nate McMillan now trying to rebuild this Portland team. A very young team, as they've gotten rid of a lot of players. Jeff Van Gundy said he learned from John McLeod many, many years ago when he was first starting in the coaching ranks, don't stay in any city for more than 3 days. So he said he did not want to come up to Portland and sit around, so he took the team to Las Vegas for a day and a half, a little R&R after their victory in Sacramento. He said the team looked refreshed, did not practice that day, came here to Portland last night and had a very spirited workout. So Tracy McGrady says his team is raring to go here tonight. He and Yao Ming accounting for almost half of Houston's points Thursday night in Sacramento. Coming in here tonight, the Portland Trailblazers in the offseason got rid of Derek Anderson, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Damon Stoudemire, and Nick Van Exel.
Whoops.
Yeah. And that, you know, not only are those good players, they're veteran players. And there is Derek, who was allowed to sign with the Houston Rockets, and plus Portland picked up his $18 million.
Pretty nice deal there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is for Houston.
And for Derek.
Yeah, the Rockets now will have the ball to start the game. Ryan Bowen, they'll back off of him. Harappa gives him a lot of room now. Martell Webster trying to guard Tracy McGrady, and Bowen with the miss. Prisbilla, excellent rebounder and shot blocker. He had, in his last game for Portland, Prisbilla had 19 rebounds.
He also leads the league in offensive rebounds per game with 5 offensive rebounds a game.
Zach Randolph had off-season knee surgery. He says it's prevented him from doing this, and that's posting up, but when he does, he's one of the best. He'll average 19, 20 points a game, and that time he was able to take Juwan Howard right down into the paint.
Zach Randolph's one of those guys with the post-up game that you've got to double team. You cannot play him one-on-one on the post.
Double team quickly on Yao Ming. They give it right back to Yao. He'll work on Prisbilla. Turns with a jump hook. In and out. And Randolph with a rebound. Tough luck shot for Yao.
And I like that how the Rockets went to Yao. He got double teamed and they went right back to him. I like that.
Randolph from the outside. He misses, and that's where you'd like to keep him. On that outside, shooting that long-range shot.
Yeah, you'll live with that shot every time with Zach Randolph.
So McGrady now gives it to the other side. Yao Ming finds Bowen underneath, and he missed the layup. Come on, Ryan.
Ryan's got to make those. Most teams leave him open and double team on Tracy and Yao, and Ryan's got to take advantage of that.
I think he was so wide open it shocked him. Long-range bomb by Martell Webster. Webster and Telfair in the backcourt, the youngest backcourt to ever start an NBA game. Tracy knocks it into the backcourt now. That's a steal by Houston. Wesley can give it up to Bowen. This time Bowen says, I can make this one.
Yeah, Flying Ryan in on the fast break. Good pass from David Wesley. Now, the Rockets are last in the NBA in fast break points, so anytime they can get those, that's a bonus.
Ryan Bowen doing a good job of setting the defensive pressure for Houston starting the game. And then the Rockets are able to come in with Derek Anderson. Telfair to Randolph. He'll shoot it over Yao Ming with a miss. There's the rebound by Harappa. And a loose ball foul on Juwan Howard.
Well, you mentioned Ryan Ball and how he gets the start, and he really gives the team a spark. He gives the team a lot of effort. He makes the hustle plays. He gets all the loose balls. When he's in there with Tracy and Yao both, the Rockets can get away with that because Ryan is not necessarily an offensive threat, but when you've got Tracy and Yao both on the court, you can get away with that.
Let's set the officials for tonight's game for you. Mike Callahan, Matt Boland, and Zach Zorba. Zorba, Boland, and Callahan, the officials.
Zorba and Boland are both former WNBA officials. You know how I know that?
Because you did WNBA.
That's right.
You did the Comets games, and if Van Chancellor were here, he would really know that.
Yeah, you think he'd be happy with seeing those two guys out there?
Well, he yelled at two of them last year that they weren't any good when they were in the WNBA.
I think he was yelling at these two, and we've got them both in the same game.
Uh-oh. Martell Webster, only 19 years old. They're going to take it down to Randolph, and a steal by Juwan Howard.
Well, that's an open jumper there.
Yeah, David misses. He was hitting. He was right on target. Wesley started that game in Sacramento, made his first 3 shots. Telfair, the #1 draft choice by Portland last year. Prisbilla has it knocked away by T-Mac.
David Wesley started off the season slow, recovering from that knee surgery. Has really gotten into a rhythm, and I'm sure he wants that jump shot back, the one he just missed.
Harappa will bring it in. Martell Webster. And he'll fire it up from behind the three-point line. No conscience at the age of 19. Nice pass inside to Ryan Bowen with a reversal.
How about that pass from Tracy McGrady? He was looking for Ryan the whole way. Ryan went straight to the hoop and hit him for the easy layup.
One thing these two teams do have in common, Matt, neither one of them are particularly good shooting teams. So we could see a low-scoring game here tonight just because they can't get the ball in the hole. The Rockets, however, with Tracy back, that's traveling on Joel Prisbilla. But with Tracy back now, the Rockets are starting to score more points and shoot better from the field, and he has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, whenever you miss a guy like Tracy McGrady, it's just like when I played, when we missed Akeem Olajuwon, we would struggle when he's not in the lineup. So obviously, getting T-Mac back is going to make this team a lot better.
He attracts the double teams, and he's such an excellent passer. This time, the double team doesn't come until late, and Webster is no match for Tracy McGrady.
The Trailblazers are really high on that youngster Webster. I talked with Kevin Pritchard, the general manager for, or not general manager, but the head of scouting, I guess, for the Trailblazers, as we see Tracy get fouled on that shot. But they really like Martell Webster. But how about that, Martell? Go out tonight and guard Tracy McGrady. and guard him on the post one-on-one, why don't you, while you're at it?
Yeah, I'm sure you. Martell really was able to see guard somebody when he was going to Seattle Prep.
Yeah.
T-Mac. Tracy gets 1 out of 2 now. Tracy came into this game shooting 78% from the free throw line. Sebastian Telfair gives it up. Harappa is fouled by Tracy McGrady.
Here, Van Gundy in the background, who's not happy with that defense. He wanted the defense to double team that pick and roll. And we'll watch on this pick and roll here as Telfair gets in the lane. Telfair makes a nice pass off to Harappa. And anytime the Rockets give up penetration like that, it's going to end up ugly.
That's a 3rd team foul on Houston. 1 team foul as Victor Harappa in his 2nd year from Russia. He played on that Russian national team and played along with Sergei Monia.
Who's on the Portland Trailblazers roster. So the two Russians on this roster played together for about the last 6 or 8 years.
Must have been scouted by the same guy.
Yeah. Actually, some of the scouts for the Trailblazers are a couple guys I went to high school with.
No double team yet. Yao Ming takes it inside and takes it up and may have blocked his own shot on the rim. Brisbilla may have gotten a hand on it. Sebastian Telfair in the open court. 1-point lead by Houston. Telfair was a legend in high school at Lincoln High School in New York City. Drafted #1 last year. Throws it right to Ryan Bowen, who's a legend in Iowa. And Tracy McGrady rims it out.
That was another fast break opportunity for the Rockets. Tracy got a pretty good look at the basket, wasn't able to knock it down.
Victor Harappa taking it down the lane, will give it up to Webster, and he hits. Martell Webster now. He will take a lot of those shots, but he's been making them.
Yeah, over half of his shots have been three-pointers. He's making 34% of them. I don't think he wants to be pigeonholed as a three-point shooter only, though.
No, he doesn't. Luther Head leading all rookies at 49% from the three-point line. Juwan Howard with the offensive rebound. Taking it down to Yao Ming. Double team comes quickly. And from the deep corner, a miss.
That's a tough shot there. When Yao gets double teamed and he passes it back out, the open shooter is on the weak side of the court, not on the strong side.
Rockets look a little flat here. 2 for 10 in the early going for Houston. Brisbilla misses, and it's tipped up and in by Randolph.
Yeah, I think you're right, Bill. The Rockets are a little flat, and as an NBA player, you don't want 2 or 3 days off in between games. You want to play every other night. That's the rhythm that you're in, and I think the Rockets are trying to knock some rust off right now.
Well, they better get this one tonight because they're going to have another 2.5, 3 days off in San Francisco. And then they got back-to-backs.
Nice move by Juwan Howard.
And the foul is called on Harappa before Brisbilla got the block. We have a timeout on the court. 5:57 left to play here in the first period. And the Blazers with a 4-point lead. Portland up by 4, 5:57 left in the first quarter. Let's take a look at tonight's McDonald's League leaders.
Well, you see the Rockets have held their opponents to less than 100 points for 14 straight games, and that leads the league. That Rockets defense is very, very stingy, even in this season of giving, Bill.
Well, the Rockets, of course, now that they're scoring more, are starting to put some wins together. And he knows about struggles. Portland has gone 19 straight games under 100 points, and there are a lot of young people here that don't know what a chalupa is.
A chalupa?
Yes.
They don't?
Well, if you score 100 or more points
here in Portland,
you get a chalupa, free chalupas.
So they haven't given out any chalupas this year?
No, and it's been a while.
Well, they're missing out.
I know it. So they're hoping that tonight will be the night. Of course, the Rockets are going to be a tough team to try to score over 100 points on. Yeah, after Juwan Howard puts it up and in.
If you haven't scored over 100 in 19 straight games, you're not going to get it against the Rockets defense.
Juwan Howard, a good steady job by the veteran. Coming into this game now, he gets the Rockets off to a good start. He played 23 minutes in Sacramento, had 8 points, a couple of rebounds. But he's really a stingy defensive player.
Well, and steady is the key word, too. You know what you're going to get from him every night, and him and Yao are the only 2 players that have started every game for the Rockets so far this year.
Telfair back cross court now. They go to Victor Harappa. Zach Randolph, he's left-handed, puts it up short, got the offensive rebound, and the foul is called on Ryan Bowen.
Flying Ryan coming in there and just tossing that ball out of there. Looked like he got all ball to me. Let's see on this replay. And Randolph goes in there and misses that shot, gets his own rebound, and Flying Ryan, it fouled him right on the basketball. You see that? Look at this, Bill, right on the ball. He says, get that out of here. Boop.
That was a pretty good block, wasn't it?
Must have been a WNBA call there.
I think it was. I think they anticipated that he was going to foul him, and by that time they'd already blown the whistle. Here's Ruben Patterson now. I was going to say about Zach Randolph, he missed a practice the other day and was disciplined by his coach. He said he thought the practice was at 10:30, but his coach said, I've been having 10 o'clock practices all year.
Not a very good excuse.
Second practice Zach has missed, so he's been disciplined. And Ruben Patterson was sent home from a recent road trip. He's had some problems. Said he has to play 25 or more minutes, or he's not going to play.
So a lot of problems here. A lot of problems in Portland, Bill.
Well, they thought they cleaned it up. They got rid of a lot of players, but they've got a real young team now. Patterson and Randolph are the veterans. Here's Prisbilla now on Yao Ming, and Yao says, I'll just turn and shoot right in his face.
Well, and he can do that over any player in the NBA. And if he's not double teamed, he needs to do that more often. But you talk about Patterson and Randolph, if those are your two leaders on your team and they're missing practice and saying they need to play 25 minutes, that's not very good leadership.
It's not setting an example for kids who are 19, 20 years old, that's for sure. But Randolph's a player. He's an all-star caliber player, and there's an offensive rebound. The Blazers just look a little quicker than Houston right now. They're going to take it into Randolph again over Yao Ming. Yao got a piece of that. Another offensive rebound inside and a foul on Houston. Gosh, the Rockets, well, the Rockets are number 7 in the league in defensive rebounding, number 26 in offensive rebounding, but tonight the Trailblazers are getting all over those offensive boards.
Well, if the Trailblazers aren't going to be making shots, and they're definitely not doing that 27%, then there's going to be a lot of offensive rebounds to have. And if the Rockets, you've got to finish off the defensive possession by getting the rebound.
Joel Prisbilla was selected number 1 by the Houston Rockets in the 2000 NBA draft, and then the Rockets traded with Milwaukee the draft rights and picked up Jason Collier in place of Prisbilla. So Prisbilla was actually selected by the Rockets but never played, and then sat on the bench in Milwaukee. He has really come into his own here in Portland.
Yeah, he's really become a good defensive player and rebounder there in Portland, but as you saw by those 2 free throws, not a good free throw shooter.
No, sir. They're last 2 as a team in the NBA in free throw shooting.
47% for Prisbilla.
Yep. The team shoots in the upper 60% range as a team. To Juwan, taking it in, floats it up and in. Set the pick. The double team went to Tracy. And Juwan went to the basket.
That was a great roll there by Juwan Howard, and a nice little floater for big man.
Here's a steal by T-Mac.
Highlight coming up.
What's he going to invent here? Whoa, a little behind the head. Kind of vanilla.
You could do that, couldn't you, Bill?
If you lowered the basket all the way to the floor, I might give one to you.
How about those steals? 5 steals for the Rockets. Turned them into 6 fast break points already. That's what the Rockets average for an entire game.
Jared Jack in the game now, giving it up to Webster. Randolph on the baseline, picked up by Howard, and he took it to the glass for 2. Double team was late getting over.
Well, that was the help defense. It was such a quick move by Randolph, went right by Howard, that Yao couldn't get there for the help.
Quickly down to Yao Ming before they can set up the defense. Yao with a little bump on Prisbilla, missed the jumper. Rockets up 13-12. Jack out of Georgia Tech. Gets it right back now. He was the number 1 draft choice by the Blazers. He turns the corner and tries to force it in. T-Mac with another steal for Houston. 3-on-2 fast break. And Randolph saw that coming all the way.
That pass was for Derek Anderson. Derek Anderson is a player who could catch a bounce pass. I would like to have seen a bounce pass on that.
All right, D.A. now will match up with Jack outside. Taking it around the corner now, and a basket by Patterson. Tracy McGrady thought that may have been an offensive foul when Patterson turned his back, but they're not going to call the flops this year. The league is saying that they're not going to reward a flop with a whistle. So a timeout taken by the Rockets. 2:29 left in the first. Rockets down by 1. Portland up by a point, just over 2.5 minutes, or just under 2.5 minutes left to play in the first. I don't know where I would go for that.
Well, the only way we can improve our seats is by moving down onto the bench so we can play.
Stromile Swift has checked into the game now. And a foul on Ruben Patterson. Sinjin Ha is in the game now, guarding Yao Ming. And here's a guy that can almost look Yao right in the eye. He's 7'3".
And this is the perfect matchup for Ha. You know, he's a big man, doesn't get a lot of playing time, but I'm sure he has the Rocket circled on his schedule every time, so he knows he can come in and play against Yao.
Well, Ha is from Korea, and they've been a lot of things written about him. Here's T-Mac getting a nice pick, and he puts up the basket.
Nice play. Good pick to get T-Mac a wide-open jumper.
Rockets up by a point now, as Wesley will match up with Jared Jack. Juan Dixon in the game. He's coming off a 28-point performance, his last game out, a career high. Randolph off to a good start. Swift came up, and Yao Ming inside of Ha for the rebound. Ha doesn't play very much unless Yao comes to town. He's there to give fouls. So if they post Yao up, he'll probably get a whistle. Well, T-Mac, they didn't guard him. He missed the shot, and Ha with the rebound.
So the Rockets are running the pick and roll with T-Mac and Yao, forcing Ha to play some defense with some movement.
Randolph for two, Patterson for two, and he's fouled on the play.
Well, if you're going to tell your coach, I've got to play 25 minutes or don't play me, you better get something done when you're out there. And see, there's a post up here with T-Mac, and he just takes it in, no double team and no help, and he draws the foul. Look at it again here. There's no help defense at all.
I've always liked his game, though, Matt. Ruben Patterson in his 8th season out of the University of Cincinnati, and McGrady will come out now. Luther Head will enter the game. T-Mac goes out with 5 points and a couple of steals, but Patterson really has a good NBA body at 6'5". You can play him at 2 guard or at the 3.
They're kind of a swing player, very versatile. Oh, there's a foul on Ha.
I told you all you had to do was...
Yeah, Ha goes over there and slaps Yao on the behind, says, hey, sorry about that. But when he's in the game, his coaches tell him, hey, you got to be physical. And that time a little bit too physical with Yao.
He's there to get some fouls, to give some fouls to Yao. They're going to use 2 or 3 different players, and there's going to be a whistle as a foul is called away from the ball.
You see Dikembe Mutombo up off the bench yelling at the officials saying, you got to call that contact, and the officials made a good call as Strohmeyer was cutting baseline. After that timeout, Portland has gotten very physical with the play off the ball.
Strohmeyer, in my opinion, played his best game Thursday night as a Houston Rocket against the Sacramento Kings, and he played 27 minutes, and that's a lot of minutes for him because he's been getting in foul trouble a lot. But he had 11 points, he had 4 rebounds, he had a couple of block shots, and played some excellent defense down the stretch. And there's a tip-in. Good hustle by Derek Anderson as he was able to sneak inside the paint and tip it in, and the Rockets have taken a 1-point lead.
Wow, that's some great hustle from D.A. That's something that you don't expect from him, getting those offensive rebounds.
Juan Dixon, look at Swift come out of nowhere and block that shot, and a foul called on Houston.
Wow, what a block shot from Strohmeyer on that play. Look at how far the ball is out of the shooter's hands, and Strohmeyer still blocks it. That is athletic right there. There's the pass. Well, there's the foul right there, I guess. And Patterson goes to the line for 2 more free throws. That was very Akeem Olajuwon like that block.
Yeah, it really was, wasn't it? He's got the quickness, however. He's an excellent shot blocker. And like Akeem, he'll block a lot of balls on somebody he's not guarding.
Yep.
Oh, good tip by Derek Anderson.
So Derek Anderson is now getting the hustle plays that Ryan Bowen is in the game for. If Derek can get those same hustle plays and make shots, then he'll just earn himself some more playing time.
Under a minute left to play. David Wesley takes it over to the side, going to Yao Ming, double team on Yao. And they go to Luther Head. Down the baseline. Luther back outside, sets up Wesley for the 3, and he got it. The buzzer was going off as the ball went in the basket.
Great ball movement for the Rocket. Great passing. Found the open shooter right at the buzzer.
Jared Jack. Dixon will take it down now to Patterson. Patterson will work on Strohmeyer Swift. Takes it inside to Harappa. The ball is stripped. Look at Luther Head, almost comes away with it. Dixon puts it up. He misses. Yao goes up for the rebound. He can't get it. And again, offensive rebounding, keeping the Blazers in this game. A foul on Yao Ming. That's his first.
That foul was on Yao, but Luther Head was in there amongst the tall trees getting his hand on all the basketballs.
Reuben Patterson really is very energetic. There's Luther, and he's leading in a lot of those top rookie categories, and when we get a chance later, we'll show you. There's Patterson again inside.
Yeah, there's Luther reaching in, and they got the basketball, but the foul was on Yao.
So T-Mac will come in for what could be the final possession. Swift will go out.
Yeah, you got the ball out. Yeah.
1 point lead by the Rockets. It's T-Mac's ball. 4 seconds. Down to 3, down to 2. Big pick by Yao Ming. T-Mac rises up and fires and hits. At the buzzer, Tracy McGrady does it again. Yao Ming came out high, set a big pick for T-Mac, and he did the rest. So the Rockets hit at the buzzer. And here we go. After the first 12 minutes, Ha came out, but the last laugh is on him. 24-20, Rockets. Oh. 24-20 as the Rockets win the first quarter.
Well, Bill, I want to show you this great ball movement by the Rockets. Go ahead and run it here. A little double pick, high pick for the Rockets, and then as the ball goes into Yao, stop it there. There's the double team. There's shooters, shooters, shooters. As Yao passes it out, the Rockets pass it around. Luther Head, penetration, pass out to the open shooter. David Wesley for 3. Count it. That is great ball movement, great penetration by Luther Head. That's great basketball right there, Bill.
That's what Luther was able to do in Sacramento, break down the defense, Matt. And when he did that, the other Rockets were able to score in the paint. That's an area the Rockets have struggled from, as you pointed out earlier, scoring in the paint. But when he penetrates, he gets that action going. Juan Dixon turns the corner. Wesley picks him up. 8 on the shot clock. Reuben Patterson has the last 8 points scored by the Trailblazers. This time he throws up an air ball, and Derek Anderson will bring it up. Taking it in, Stromile Swift with a nice post-up move.
That was very nice. Nice touch for Stromile in close there.
Is he looking more comfortable to you, like he's settling in with the offense a little bit?
Yeah, you know, he's playing a little more consistently, and I think that's what the Rockets coaches and the Rockets fans would like to see from him is more consistent output, and so far tonight he's looking good.
Biggest lead of the game now for Houston. Switch it around to Juan Dixon. Dixon gets inside that paint area. He's fouled. Basket count. Unfortunate for Luther Head. I thought he gave ground. He put his hands up, and his hand was able to hit the elbow.
Well, this is great offense here. Pretty good defense by Luther, but even better offense by Juan Dixon.
Juan Dixon's a young man signed as a free agent. Of course, won an NCAA championship at the University of Maryland and played with the Washington Wizards, but came here to the Blazers and hasn't played a lot until recently, and he's starting to score now. They're trying to force a pass in. Blazers have the numbers. Jack takes it to the basket, and good defense by Houston. It is hard to get a layup on the Rockets in transition. They do as good a job at getting back as any team in the league.
Yeah, you got to give David Wesley some credit for that hustle. He made the bad pass, he made the turnover, but he hustled back and made the defensive play to stop that fast break.
Dixon gets a double team now. They go away. Luther Head one-on-one with Juan Dixon. Dixon with a miss, and the rebound to Stromile Swift. 3-point Houston lead. Cal looking, he wants that ball.
Yeah, see, he was open there.
Now Yao comes out to set an offensive pick, and the foul is called on Harappa.
Yeah, Yao was open there on the post. Perhaps the play was not to give him the ball on the post because he ran out for the pick and roll, but Yao works so hard to get open on the post that when he is open, it seems like you want to give him the ball every time.
Derek Anderson. Double team quickly on Yao. Luther Head is open. He fires it up. Missed it.
Luther was open momentarily, but good recovery on the defense.
I think they've read his stats. He's a 49% three-point shooter, and they came out on him in a hurry. Juan Dixon hits the three. Here's a young man who can score a lot of points. We've seen that. He just hasn't had a lot of minutes.
Well, he had a career high of 28 points the other night, so he's playing some good basketball, and Nate McMillan gets him in the game early.
And Swift goes for the slam, and Ha with a foul.
And that call was good because Strohmeyer took the ball to the basket strong. If Strohmeyer would not have gone strong, he would have not have gotten that call. Let's watch here as Strohmeyer goes and gets the pass, and then he goes up and tries to dunk. If he would have gone up for the layup, he would not have gotten that call. Pretty good line there for Strohmeyer last game in Sacramento.
Yeah, he's really looking more comfortable now and playing with his teammates. So, Sinjin Ha will check out of the game.
Well,
Joe Prisbilla will come back in.
Yeah, the Trailblazers, when Ha was in the game, they were still double teaming Yao, and that's, it seems like if you were going to play Ha, then you wouldn't double team him.
Well, they really need to probably feel like they have to help him out because he's such a young player, does not have a lot of experience. Dixon. Rockets collapse on him. Jared Jack from way downtown. Wow.
That's a bad shot there. Great defense, though, by the Rockets. Jared Jack just forcing one up from downtown.
Did he think the shot clock was going down?
I don't know what he thought.
Maybe.
Why don't you go out there and ask him?
I will not have to do that. Derek Anderson. Contact and a blocking foul is called on Victor Harappa. That's his third foul of the game.
Hey, Bill, the fans don't like the call.
Well, that's surprising.
You remember when we used to come here, Bill, about 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, and they used to be sold out, one of the toughest places to play?
Well, I think they sold every seat here for, 20 years?
Wow.
They go all the way back to when they won an NBA championship in 1977, those glory years, and they moved here to the Rose Garden, and they still sold out. Then they had a lot of off-court problems.
I remember when I used to play here, I used to hate coming here. I used to hate playing in this building. The fans were loud, and the Trailblazers were great. It was a tough place to play.
Derek Anderson misses. Tipped outside. Anderson.
Another hustle play for D.A.
Yeah. He wants to play well here, of course, because he felt he was buried on the bench last year in Portland. And pass by Yao Ming.
Good play, bad pass.
Yeah, Swift couldn't get up fast enough for that one. That's 3 turnovers for the Rockets and 6 turnovers by the Blazers. Steve Blake in the game. And the three-pointer by Jared Jack. And the Blazers have come back on top. Blake has really played well coming off that bench for Portland. Yao Ming working one way, back the other, and hooks it up and in for 2. Wow. That was a tough move by Yao.
Yao just taking what the defense was giving him. That little backwards over the head flip shot.
Patterson off to a good start, backs it in. Yao comes up, and he goes over him anyway. Ruben Patterson playing very well, 10 minutes, 10 points. Anderson, nice pass to Luther Head. He sets, misses. That's the first time I recall he has missed back-to-back threes all season. If he misses one, he'll usually make the second.
Well, that's what the stats bear out. It's 49%. Yep, that's 1 out of 2.
Patterson back outside. Juan Dixon now will work on Luther Head, and the foul is called on Luther. So Luther having a little problems with Juan Dixon. That's the 3rd foul on Luther Head. Yao Ming trying to keep the Rockets in this game. Portland with a 1-point lead, 7:42 left to play in the first half. Dikembe Mutombo now has checked in for Houston. So it'll be Derek Anderson. Luther Head stays in the game along with Mutombo, McGrady, and Swift. Swift knocks it outside, and Jared Jack leans in, lost the ball, and that would be a 24-second violation.
Fans thought there was a little contact there on that shot. Thought there should be a foul called, as does Nate McMillan. Let's watch the replay. Jared Jack with a pump fake. T-Mac, that's a good call.
Well, T-Mac will usually get that call, but
the difference between T-Mac and T-Mac and Jared Jack, there's a little difference there.
Well, he leaned into Tracy McGrady, and pretty obvious. Dikembe holding it high over to Luther Head. Shot clock now down to 9 seconds. Where are they going to go with it? Blake right on Luther Head, could not stay with him, and Luther is able to drain the shot. Luther Head really off to a great start among the rookie leaders. He's number 6 in scoring just at 10 points a game, and he's number 2 in three-point percentage at 49%.
I'd say he better be in that rookie all-star game, don't you?
You betcha. Number 2 in steals, too. On the pass-off, a foul is called on Stromile Swift.
The thing I like about Luther is that he's able to create something when the Rockets' offense breaks down. And he did that last game in Sacramento, and he's doing it tonight. Whenever the Rockets' offense breaks down, he's able to create a shot either for himself or for one of his teammates. And that's a special talent that a lot of the other Rockets players like David Wesley don't have.
He's playing with 3 fouls, trying to stay with that guy right there, Juan Dixon. Dixon, hard guy to cover one-on-one. Going to Zach Randolph off the glass for 2. You got to watch him now. He's left-handed. Can't let him go to his left.
Well, speaking of hard guy to guard one-on-one, Randolph, very tough on the post.
Steve Blake, another one of those Maryland guys, trying to stay right there with Houston. Tracy McGrady now will rise up and shoot over Manya. Thought he was fouled. Dikembe Mutombo gets another possession for the Rockets.
Officials are letting a lot of contact go. The game is getting very physical.
Dixon will bring it up for the Trailblazers. Blake misses, and Luther Head with a rebound. Swift is already underneath. Going to give it up to T-Mac. He'll rise up, miss the 3. So Tracy off to a slow start tonight for him. 3 for 8 from the field, 8 points for Tracy McGrady. We have a timeout on the court, 5:50 left to play in the second quarter, and Portland up by a point. Welcome back to the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon. 5:50 left to play in the second quarter.
I wouldn't even walk 2 blocks to get across.
It was cold today.
It was.
Now, Jeff Van Gundy, he ought to be in that walk. He loves to walk.
Yeah, walking up and down the sidelines.
He walks everywhere. Big walk. All right, there's Randolph again. This time he puts it up over Stromile Swift. And the ball is loose, and Stroh's got it. Here comes Mack. Manya right up on Tracy McGrady. T-Mac turns that corner back to Luther Head. Not going anywhere. Down to 7 seconds on the shot clock. Luther will put up the 3 and rim it out, and a loose ball foul is called on Juan Dixon. This is a little too obvious. That's a 4th-team foul on Portland. 3 team fouls on the Rockets. Luther Head will be in the game with Derek Anderson. Anderson will bring it in. Tracy McGrady, Dikembe Mutombo, and Stromile Swift. All right, you hear Jeff Van Gundy calling a timeout because he called out a play, and the Rockets...
Well, that's 2 plays in a row.
Well, all 5 of them looked at him that time. They weren't sure that was in the playbook. So he calls a timeout. 5:03 left in the second. Jeff Van Gundy looking up now at the shot clock. He had to call a timeout there, Matt, to get the play straight.
Well, if you're an NBA player, you've got to know what play you're running. First of all, you got to know the plays, and then second of all, you got to know which play you're running out of the timeout. And Van Gundy not happy at all. 2 plays in a row. His team didn't run the right play.
No one has more plays than Jeff Van Gundy. If you ask any of the coaches here at courtside, they'll tell you his playbook is thick. That's why he's tough. The Rockets are tough to scout.
Well, it's great to have a lot of plays, but you got to be able to run them.
Well, yeah, you know, a lot of coaches believe in having a few plays and executing them better. Nice pass inside to Stromile. He's blocked by Przybilla. So the Rockets move it back outside. Tracy McGrady setting it up. Juan Dixon staying right with him, but T-Mac has no trouble shooting over Juan Dixon.
Well, that's a pretty good play right there.
Yeah. Just give it to number one.
Yeah, give it to T-Mac and let him go.
You call that number one?
That's number one.
LA.
Of course, when I played, the play we ran all the time was number 15. That was Akeem's play. Just run down there to the box. Akeem will throw it to you. Akeem, he would always forget that play, though.
I thought it was the give me the ball play. Manya dropping it off inside of Przybilla. Tough shot, good defense. Rockets held their ground. 1 point lead, trying to build on that is T-Mac now. And he will shoot it over Manya, misses. Rebound Przybilla. Blake picked up that dribble, and a foul is called on Derek Anderson.
Well, Blake is getting an opportunity to play tonight because Sebastian Telfair, their starting point guard, has a sprained right thumb, and they don't know if he's going to return to this game or not. So Blake is going to get extended minutes, and he's trying to take advantage of that.
Yao Ming back into the game for Houston. Well, you know, they in their last game, they won in overtime against New Orleans, and Blake played a big part in that game down the stretch. In fact, it was a weird lineup that Nate McMillan had in that game. Harappa played, Przybilla played, Martell Webster, and Steve Blake played with Juan Dixon. So it was a lineup he'd never used before, and he won with it. So he said Blake got some more minutes, and there's a three-pointer by Steve Blake.
Right on cue. Talk about tough to scout if you're playing a lineup like that. Opposing coaches don't know what to think.
We expected a low-scoring game. We're getting it. 3:05 left to play in the first half. It's only 36-34. Portland with the lead. Illegal defense all over the place. And Swift. Now, the reason it was illegal, Randolph never guarded a man, and that was Swift. It was the one he was supposed to be guarding.
That was great ball movement to find the open man.
Game tied at 36. Steve Blake dropping it down low. Randolph rushed the shot up. Yao tips it back, and the loose ball foul is called on Yao Ming. I don't know how it looked to me like he was pushed from behind.
Well, he's the biggest guy on the court. You ought to be able to see everything that goes on with him.
Well, it looked like he had the position, and somebody ran in behind him.
And here's the foul. They call the foul on Yao. I don't know where that was, but Zach Randolph went to the free throw line, and Jeff Van Gundy said, no, that was not the shooter. Przybilla is the shooter.
Bad enough calls it was, but you want Przybilla at the line. 47% free throw shooter.
Let's watch now. Randolph shoots, and Yao, that's no foul there, but if that's the call, then Przybilla is the shooter.
And he got both.
And he knocks them both down. So he's 50% tonight, 2 for 4.
2-point lead by the Trailblazers. Tracy McGrady has Blake right up in his face. Nice shovel pass to Yao Ming for 2, maybe 3. He's fouled on the play by Joel Przybilla.
Once again, Yao goes to dunk this ball, and that's how he gets the call. You've got to go strong to the rim if you're going to get a call in this league. And watch Tracy McGrady, the little flip pass right there. Yao goes to dunk, and he gets the call.
Well, you might notice on the face of Yao Ming, thanks to Sharif Abdur-Rahim's fingernails, he has a big scar across his face to go along with the stitches that he got the game before over his eye. I mean, he looks like he's been in the wrestling competition.
Yeah, Yao's it's a physical game out there, but you've got to, if you're Sharif Abdur-Rahim, you're 6'8", and you're going to scratch Yao across the face, who's 7'6". I mean, that takes some effort, isn't it, to get up that high?
Well, the ball was right there at the face of Yao Ming, so he really only had to jump about 7'3". Steve Blake gets a double team now, giving it back. Randolph in the corner and winning it out. Sergei Manya. Right back to Tracy McGrady. Under 2 minutes left. T-Mac to the basket. Tried to corkscrew one up, and he wouldn't go. He got trapped underneath the basket by Przybilla. Manya fouled. It counts. Derek Anderson is called. And Sergei Manya from Russia. A rookie will be at the line.
Nice pass from Blake, and Derek Anderson gets out of the way. And Manya scores. Let's see it here again. There is absolutely no contact at all there. Derek Anderson just gets out of the way. The official assumed. You know what happens when you assume, right?
First round draft choice, Manya. And we have a whistle.
Lane violation.
And a lane violation is called. And that free throw will not count.
Lane violation calls in the NBA happen about once every 10 years.
Well, you just saw one. Actually, I saw we had one last game, I believe.
Okay, twice every 10 years.
And it happened to us. All right, Manya will try to stay with T-Mac. T-Mac puts it up and in, and he draws the foul. Now, Sergei Manya was on 3 consecutive Russian national championship teams before coming to Portland, but he never had to face this.
Yeah, there's no player in Russia that can score like Tracy McGrady. T-Mac was not happy with his previous effort on that corkscrew attempt, and he was upset with himself and got it back that time with a great move inside and the foul.
T-Mac now with 13 points.
David, back up some.
The only other player in this game in double figures is Ruben Patterson with 10. And the Rockets up by 2. Biggest lead of the game for Houston has been 4 points. The biggest lead for Portland, 6.
Back and forth affair, then, would you say?
Yes, indeed. Martell Webster.
Kind of like that square dancing we saw before the game. Huh?
Little do-si-do. There's Randolph trying to put one up, and he missed it. And the rebound goes to Manya. Well, they did a good job of attacking the offensive glass.
Well, you can see that 2 ways. Good job of offensive rebounding or a bad job of defensive rebounding.
Randolph stops, misses, and the rebound to Yao Ming. T-Mac. Little crossover, drew the foul, and he missed the shot. He'll shoot 2. This youngster, Sergei Manya, is going to NBA Basketball 101.
Okay, here's the test of today. Don't go for the pump fake. He failed that one.
Look who he has to guard.
Is that a multiple choice test? Or?
You know, he's going to call home and say, there's good news, bad news. Good news, I got to play with Tracy McGrady. The bad news, I had to guard him.
Yep. Tracy's got 14 points so far in tonight's game, 3 rebounds and 3 assists.
And Juan Dixon now will come in for Manya, and that's for offense, because Portland could go 2 for 1 here on possessions with 46 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Tracy McGrady now starting to get warmed up and get into the game. T-Mac played 44 minutes in Sacramento, scored 28 points. Well, Prisbilla knocked it out of bounds. Good hustle by Derek Anderson.
Another great offensive rebound off the free throw for Derek Anderson. Didn't get the possession, but was able to knock the ball off of Prisbilla.
So now it goes 2 for 1 in Houston's favor.
That's right. We got 45 seconds here. Now, what you want to do in a 2 for 1 situation is you want to shoot the ball about between 30 seconds and 36 seconds, and that way you'll get the ball back at the end of the quarter.
Looking for T-Mac. There it is. Puts it up and in. Great pass from Derek Anderson, and Tracy McGrady with 16 points. And the Rockets bump that lead up to 5. Biggest lead of the game for Houston. We have heard Jeff Van Gundy say no fouls here with 30 seconds left. Patterson taking it to the basket. Short-armed it. Prisbilla puts it up and in. Another offensive rebound for Portland.
Wow. That was a really nice move by Blake. Created something for the Trailblazers. You see 11 offensive rebounds for the Trailblazers. That's just way too many for a game, let alone a half.
Just about the same on the shot clock as in the game clock. Down to 7 seconds, down to 6. Double team following McGrady. Stromile Swift from the top of the key, missed it. Yao tips it to Anderson. He's got time. He puts it up and in. Derek Anderson hits with about 2/10 of a second left to play in the half. So Derek Anderson with a good hustle and a good tip by Yao Ming. Looked like the Rockets had worked on that play. There it is, double zeros as the ball settles into the court. And here at halftime, it's the Rockets 47, the Trailblazers 42. Stay with us. Tonight's Lexus halftime report comes your way after the break. Houston Rockets leading it by 5 here at halftime. We're just moments away from the start of the third quarter. Bill Worrell along with Matt Bullard. Good to have you folks with us for the second half. And it looks like, this is just my humble opinion watching the game, that Tracy McGrady can get his shot just about any time he wants it.
That's a good opinion, Bill. And I'll tell you what, Tracy McGrady has had a great first half. 6 for 13 for 16 points. There's a nice little mid-post move, and then, of course, he can hit the three-point shot at the buzzer. Of course, if you want to play a little defense, he's got 3 steals and 2 block shots. There's one of his steals leading to the Bill Worrell backward slam. And then, of course, T-Mac with the and one. He's got 3 rebounds and 3 assists to go with that. That's a great game for most players. That's only a first half for T-Mac.
Yeah, Nate McMillan's done a good job of alternating defensive players. He's had 4 different players trying to slow down T-Mac. He can't do it. Now, on the other hand, really the only way the Trailblazers are staying in this game is with offensive rebounding.
Yeah, 11 offensive rebounds for the Trailblazers. That led to 10 second chance points for the Blazers. I'm sure that Jeff Van Gundy at halftime said, we got to get that defensive rebound. We got to finish our defensive possessions.
Zach Randolph doing a pretty good job along with Ruben Patterson, but the Rockets playing good, sound defensive basketball as they try to win their 3rd game in a row, and we will be back in just a moment. Here are tonight's Bud Light first half stats as the Houston Rockets shooting 49%, holding Portland to 36%. And really, the offensive rebounding is the only thing keeping Portland in this game here early as they've out-rebounded Houston, and only 4 turnovers by the Houston Rockets. And your halftime stars, Tracy McGrady with 16 points and 3 rebounds, 3 assists and 3 steals. Ruben Patterson has come off the bench for 10 points in just over 10 minutes of work. Rockets have done a pretty good job on Zach Randolph. Even though he has 9 points, it's on 4 of 14 shooting. Patterson with 10, Juan Dixon with 6, T-Mac with 16, Yao Ming and Stromile Swift with 7 apiece.
You know, Bill, I get the feeling that T-Mac had a slow first half. You look at his stats, 16 points. That's great first half, but it seemed a little slow to me. Looks like he's picking it up. I expect T-Mac to explode here in the second half.
Well, the Rockets ended the half on an 8-2 run. The Blazers only 3 for 13 to end the quarter. So the Rockets want to keep that streak going now. As Martell Webster back into the game, he gets a step, he takes it in on Yao Ming and draws the foul. Yao with his 3rd foul of the game.
Pretty explosive move by the youngster there, taking it down the lane. Martell Webster shoots a lot of outside shots, but this time takes it in and draws the contact. Pretty nice move for the youngster.
Martell Webster was 19 years old, December the 4th.
Happy birthday to him.
Yeah. And he and Sebastian Telfair only 20 years of age, youngest backcourt to ever play in the NBA.
Missed them both.
Villa, however, got it back, knocked out of bounds by Yao Ming. But the Rockets are just a step slow.
Yeah. Didn't we talk about that at halftime, Bill, the offensive rebounds?
Well, I thought we did.
Did Jeff Van Gundy talk about it?
Prisbilla.
I'm sure that he did.
Well, Prisbilla is coming off a 19-rebound game in their win over New Orleans a couple of nights ago, and he has 10 rebounds already in this game.
Well, and he also leads the NBA in offensive rebounds per game at 5.
Martell Webster gets it back to Telfair. 5 on the shot clock. Inside, sets up Webster. Webster ducks and missed everything. David Wesley came running at Martell Webster and flew right over his shoulder into the Rockets bench, and it just scared the youngster to death, I guess. He missed everything.
Wow.
So David will bring it up.
I didn't know David Wesley could jump that high.
Boy, he got there in a hurry, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
All right, going to take it down, see if they can get Yao involved in the game. He shoots it over Prisbilla. Good looking shot, just rolled off the iron. Yao now 3 for 7. Randolph working on Juwan Howard, back outside again. Webster to Telfair. Telfair will shoot the 3. In and out, won't go. Good rebound by Ryan Bowen. He really boxed out Harappa.
If you can rebound the ball after it bounces, you know that's a great box out.
And a quick whistle on Joel Prisbilla. So Prisbilla now with his second foul of the game. He has 11 rebounds, 4 points.
So what happened on the previous possession, Prisbillo got very physical with Yao and nothing was called. I'm sure the official told him, take it easy. He didn't take it easy on the second possession. He got the foul call.
T-Mac trying to get Yao involved in the game. There's the same call. This time Yao is called for charging. Well, he's got to be frustrated. If he holds his ground on one end, he gets the call. Now he takes it in on Harappa, and he gets called for the charge.
Let's watch it here. There's Harappa. Yeah, Harappa's outside of the little arc there, and Yao.
Hey, motion reverse.
Good job by Yao to slip that pick and go to the hole, but a 7'6" guy down the lane, it's a tough play for Yao.
Yao Ming with 4 fouls now, and Mutombo will come in for him. Ball is short. Harappa runs it down. Good hustle again. The Blazers get a second opportunity. Martell Webster from the outside. He misses. And Mutombo with a rebound. Mutombo now can play some big minutes. Mac, the Rockets need him to get on the glass.
Mutombo is in a perfect situation, backing up Yao Ming. Mutombo can still get things done.
Oh, come on, man.
Right there. There it is. Mutombo is fouled by Prisbillo. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Now look at that. Mutombo's yelling at his teammates. Come on, let's go, let's go. See, that's the position that Mutombo's in. He's playing behind Yao. He knows that he's not going to get a lot of minutes, but when he does, he can be very effective. Nice offensive rebound. You see, he goes, come on, guys, let's go. Kimbe is a special player, a special human being, named by FoxSports.com as the most generous professional athlete, ranking ahead of Lance Armstrong and Tiger Woods. Mutombo has donated $15 million of his own money to build a hospital in Congo.
Yeah, he named that hospital after his mother, and in fact, we were able to meet his family at the Tux and Tennies last year as the funds raised from that dinner went towards the hospital. Wes Alexander really felt like that what Dikembe was doing, he wanted to be a part of. Yeah, Dikembe really done a wonderful job of raising money for the Congo. And there's a miss and a rebound. David Wesley comes out of the pack with it. 0 for 6 for the Blazers now to start this 3rd quarter. Rockets are 0 for 2, but they're getting to the free throw line. Looking down to Mutombo. It won't go that way. 9 on the shot clock. Tracy McGrady slices between a double team. Goes to the left and missed it. Prisbillo scares off a lot of shots.
He's very, very long. He's tall and he's got long arms, and he's got very good timing on the shot block. Foul on David Wesley trying to guard Telfair. Now, we talked about Telfair in the first half having a sprained right thumb, but he does start here in the second half for the Blazers.
So timeout taken by Portland. 8:53 left to play here in the 3rd quarter, and the Rockets lead at 49-42. Welcome back. Rockets leading at 49-42. Rafe Alston still sitting out for the Houston Rockets. John Barry missing tonight's game. Bob Sura has been out the entire season. Darius Miles will have knee surgery sometime in the next couple of days, but they say he should be out for only about a month. And Ratliff is out also for Portland, so they're missing a couple of big guys.
And we're missing a lot of shots here in the second half, too. I wonder if the players realize the second half is starting.
Well, the defense has been pretty good, but they're getting some wide open looks. There's one right there by Randolph, and he missed. They haven't made one, have they?
Well, the team's made one here in the second half.
He's had a couple of free throws. T-Mac giving it up. Ryan Bowen's going to break the ice. Nope.
Yep.
Well, first team to make a field goal will win the game.
Well, Ryan Bowen took that jump shot, and Tracy McGrady told him, gave him 5. Keep shooting that ball, Ryan.
Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Telfair still with the basketball now. Gives it up to Martell Webster. Ryan runs at him. Webster invented a tough shot going to his left, and the youngster hits it. Got a great body for a 19-year-old, and he's going to be a nice pro, I think, at 6'7".
Yeah, he's got a nice body for a 32-year-old. He came into this league as a youngster, already ready to play.
David Wesley missed it, and the rebound goes to the Trailblazers. Nice crossover move. Webster is open for a three, and he hits.
See, that last shot that he made gave him the confidence to make this three-point shot. He'd been struggling with his jump shot in the first half. When you're a basketball player, there's a foul on Telfair. When you're a basketball player, if you can get one to go, that'll get you confidence when you make the next one.
And man, I think Sebastian Telfair doing a pretty good job of creating to get Webster the open look.
Oh, he did a great job of creating, and that's what Telfair does. He doesn't look to score inside there. He looks to drive and break down the defense and then pass off to his scorers.
He was one of the great, guards from New York City. Have always been highly publicized down through the years, and he was one of the most heralded, although it was a bit of a controversial draft for Portland. There's Juwan Howard with a turnaround, so he hits for Houston. Juwan Howard with 6 points.
Juwan turning the clock back a few years with that move. That was quick and crisp. Looked good.
Let's try it again.
Yeah, go back to him.
Shot clock at 8 seconds. Randolph giving it up to Prisbilla now. They're going to have to look at that clock and get a shot off. Randolph forces it up, missed it, and the rebound. Good hustle by David. And he gets it right back from Ryan Bowen. Rockets leading at 51-47. So they are going to go right back to Juwan Howard. He'll make Randolph play a little defense. Good pump fake by Juwan. Got it inside, and Prisbilla may have gotten a piece of it. Sebastian Telfair to Randolph in a crowd. Ryan Bowen right there, and a jump ball. You put that ball out in front of Ryan Bowen.
Yeah, Ryan's going to get his hands on it for sure.
Cheese in front of a mouse.
Cookies in front of Bill Worrell.
Ooh, same thing. Might lose him quicker.
Well, Joel Prisbilla took a shot to the. Hey, there we are.
What do you mean cookies in front of Bill Worrell? Well, you're the sweet king.
I only eat dinner to get to dessert.
You were looking for the dessert before the dinner tonight.
Well, thank goodness you found it for me.
Well, obviously, though, I'm eating a few more cookies than you are. Well, the jump won by Randolph. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Sebastian Telfair running the offense. Good pickup on Juan Dixon. Telfair will have to fire it from the outside, and he hits a three-pointer for Sebastian Telfair. And it's a one-point Houston lead. Going to hand it to this young Trailblazers team. They got a lot of fight in them. And Randolph will come out of the game. Patterson will come in.
Well, I think that fight comes from their coach, Nate McMillan. He waited to the end of the season and went to Portland, didn't he?
All right, Wesley now gives it up to Bowen. Look how far Juan Dixon is playing off of Bowen, so he'll shoot it and hit it.
Yep, that's good basketball. See, if they're going to play off Ryan, he needs to take his time, just take advantage of having the open space and make the jump shot.
So Ryan Bowen now 3 for 6 for 50% from the field.
Now, 2 of those 3 are layups, but still, you'll take that.
Three-pointer missed, and the rebound to Mutombo. So Mutombo giving him some good minutes. Sinjin Ha in the game for the Blazers. T-Mac rises up short, and Ha with the rebound. Ha sets a pick out high, goes back underneath, and we have a whistle. And a foul is called on Dikembe Mutombo. Sinjin Ha found out what a lot of players have found out. Those elbows are sharp.
They are sharp. Look, Mutombo, we'll watch here. Watch number 5 right here. There he is. That wasn't Mutombo. That was actually Juwan Howard stepping over. And they call that chugging the cutter. And he chugged a little bit harder than Ha was expecting.
Well, they called it on Mutombo, and Mutombo said it wasn't me. Now the referees talked it over. They're going to call a flagrant foul 1.
Well, they're calling a flagrant foul on the wrong guy. Mutombo wasn't even the guy who fouled him.
Well, they missed it twice.
Let's watch it again. Now here's Ha, and here's Juwan Howard. There's the contact. And so they called a flagrant on Dikembe. Well, it was definitely a lot of contact there, and it definitely was a foul, but they got it on the wrong guy. Now see, Juwan Howard is over here with the official saying, you know what, that was me. Maybe he's not telling that. He's saying good call.
You know, anytime the officials get together, all they had to do was look up and look at the replay. So Ryan Bowen will come out of the game and Derek Anderson will come in.
Yeah,
Boy, Jeff Van Gundy. Well, that's because the official's not sure, is he?
Right.
That's why he's letting him argue.
Well, and Jeff Van Gundy, that's part of his defensive philosophy is when a cutter cuts down the lane, you put a body on him. And that's what Van Gundy was saying. He said that's how we play defense. We don't allow cutters to cut down our lane. And that's, we're just playing defense very physical and within the rules. But that time, the officials made the call and got it on the wrong guy.
Rockets maintain the lead, 53-51. Ha missed the free throw. And a possession of the ball again to the Trailblazers on the flagrant foul call. And Juan Dixon picked up on the perimeter, and Ha could not hold the pass. That's the problem with the youngster. He's really got a nice body to play in the NBA at 7'3", but his hands aren't very good at catching the ball. And that's always a detriment.
Yep, he was looking to dunk that one before he even caught it.
Over to T-Mac now. Harappa will try to slow him down. T-Mac goes baseline. They come over with a couple of extra players to give it right back to him with 5 on the shot clock. Down to 4, down to 3. T-Mac to the basket for 2. Lots of contact, no whistle. Tracy McGrady with 18 points.
Now, there aren't too many guys in the league that can make that shot.
Juan Dixon picked up by Derek Anderson on the baseline. Great defense by Houston. And did they force a timeout?
Yep.
So a full timeout taken by the Trailblazers. Dixon had nowhere to go. Derek Anderson cut him off at the pass. And watch Tracy McGrady go to work. Rockets up by 4. Rockets up by 4. Bull?
Bill and Bull here. We're going to talk about Tracy McGrady here. Here's the last play. Go ahead and run it. Now, David Wesley's going to give the ball to Tracy McGrady. Now, obviously, if you're going to give the ball to Tracy in the post down low there, you're going to have to double team. So here come the Trailblazers with a whole bunch of guys, and Tracy's got to throw it down. See, there's 3 guys around him right there. Now, as he throws it back out, all those guys get away from him. Just give him the ball back. That's called a repost, and then Tracy can go to work and get the shot.
All right, the Blazers have it with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Sebastian Telfair gets a big pick from Ha. Juan Dixon has to fire it up from the parking lot, and Ha with a loose ball foul. That was pretty obvious.
Well, this game is getting very physical. It was physical in the first half, and it's continued here in the second half. And Joel Przbilla is on the bench because he took an elbow from Mutombo to the throat. And now Ha's in there, and he's been on the floor a few times.
And that's a 15 foul, so the Rockets are in the bonus. The Rockets still have a foul to give. They have only 3. Well, the problem I have with the foul call on Mutombo, if you're going to call a flagrant, which is what the officials did, then you need to get the right guy. How did they see Mutombo with a flagrant if they call the foul on him because he didn't commit it?
Yeah, obviously they didn't see the foul. They saw the result. And that's not a great way to officiate a game. You don't officiate by what the result was. You've got to actually see the play.
And all 3 got together to come to that conclusion. So 57-51. No, the clock didn't start in time. Biggest lead in this game by Houston has been 7 points. The biggest lead by Portland, 4.
They set the game clock at 4:12.
So Victor Harappa will bring it in to Sebastian Telfair, Ha, Dixon, and Ruben Patterson in the game for the Blazers. Wesley is matched up with Telfair, and Juwan Howard will try to slow Patterson down. Patterson with a move to the middle. He's surrounded. Harappa puts it up and misses. Good rebound by Mutombo as he got inside of Ha.
And good defense from Juwan Howard on Patterson.
Mutombo with 5 rebounds, and he's only been in the game these 11 minutes. Alley-oop back door. Yep, there it is. T-Mac goes to the back door, and it was open. Good pass from David Wesley. Biggest lead of the game now by Houston. 8 points. And a steal by David Wesley. He gets body position on Telfair and lays it up for two, and the Rockets defense now starting to take charge. 61-51. Rockets on a 9-0 run.
A couple real nice plays in a row from David Wesley.
Yes, indeed. Going back to Patterson again. Patterson going down that baseline, ridden out of bounds. There's Derek Anderson going to the floor, saves the ball to Wesley. He gets it across court to Tracy McGrady. Will raise up for a three, missed it. That would have forced a timeout by Nate McMillan. Patterson back the other way. Harappa with a great pick. Did you see that?
I did. That is a smart basketball play right there to give his teammate an open lane to the hoop.
It's like a wide receiver in the NFL throwing a block downfield.
Was that a clip? Block in the back, I think.
It may have been a block in the back, but they don't call that in this league. T-Mac gets the pick. T-Mac takes it to the middle. He's fouled on the play. He'll shoot two. Juan Dixon with his second foul of the game. Tracy McGrady, of course, you Rockets fans, I don't have to tell you how many games he has missed with that bad back that he hurt in the preseason. And the Rockets do pretty good when he plays, don't they, Matt?
Yeah, the Rockets are 6-4. Whoops. 6-4 when he plays and score 89 points a game, and 0-8 when he doesn't play and only score 83 points a game. That's a big difference.
And we've documented, of course, what Tracy, so many things he does when he's in the game. He attracts a double team. That's the most important thing, because when he's in the game, he gets a lot easier shots for his teammates.
Well, he creates shots for his teammates, and he can create shots for himself. And the Rockets' offense is just so much smoother when you have a player like that in it.
He has 21 points tonight. Dixon gets the ball back. He's surrounded. Slams it home.
Oh, the crowd goes crazy. That was a pretty nice play for the Trailblazers. You get Hogg the basketball that close, he's going to dunk it every time.
He's a youngster. He can only get better. Went to high school, South Korea. There's a basket inside, and only Tracy McGrady can create the contact, get the basket, and the foul shot.
Tracy McGrady hanging in the air.
On a 7-3 guy. How about this?
Woo.
Sinjin Ha said, I tried to go up and block. T-Mac gets a three-pointer the old-fashioned way, and McGrady with 24 points. Rockets up by 10. Biggest lead of the game for Houston. 1:41 and counting left to play here in the third period. Steve Blake has checked into the game. He'll go to Patterson now. Patterson trapped on the baseline. There's another errant pass by the Trailblazers. Inside Mutombo. He waits his turn, puts it up for two, and he's fouled on the play.
David Wesley is playing a great third period here for the Rockets. A couple great passes backdoor to T-Mac, and then this time a great pass inside to Mutombo. Mutombo waits for the contact, finishes the play. David Wesley right there spurring his teammates on.
Well, Wesley with 5 points, but he has 5 assists. Plus, he's done a great job defensively, too. That Rockets defense is swarming all over the court. And back-to-back three-pointers the old-fashioned way, and Mutombo has really had some good minutes. 13 minutes, 5 rebounds, 7 points for Deke. And the Rockets up that lead to 13.
We're talking about that Rockets defense. They're holding the Trailblazers to 34% shooting.
And a foul is called on David Wesley. That's only the 4th team foul on Houston with 1:09 left to play in the quarter. It looks like the Rockets defensively are playing with 7 players.
Yeah. Look at that. They're holding the Trailblazers to 31% this quarter. I'm sure the Trailblazers feel like it's 8 players out there.
Harappa taking it to the middle, floats it up short. Gets the offensive rebound, puts it up, missed it. Got the second one to go.
Well, that's the only thing that the Trailblazers are doing right is offensive rebounding.
I think they've got about 15 tonight.
There's 16.
And Wesley. And Nate McMillan really upset with the official, but actually had he called it correctly, he would have called a foul on Portland, so he's giving the Rockets the ball back. We have a timeout, charge to Houston, just over 45 seconds left to play here in the third quarter. Tracy McGrady starting to assert himself, and so are the Rockets. It's time to check in on tonight's AIG Big Man Watch. Joel Przybilla versus Yao Ming, and Przybilla with 12 rebounds. Yao with 7 points. And they really haven't played each other that much. The Rockets started this quarter 0 for 5. Since that time have gone 7 for 10. And it's been with Dikembe Mutombo playing some valuable minutes off the bench.
Well, Yao's got 4 fouls, so he's on the bench with foul trouble. And then Mutombo came in and gave the Rockets some great production. And now the Rockets are going with a small lineup with Stromile Swift at the center.
This is what the Rockets envisioned when they picked up Stromile Swift, is when they wanted to go small, they could use him at center. If they wanted to pick up the tempo, a lot of teams are going small now, and the Rockets wanted to be in the vanguard. There's Stromile taking it to the middle. Did not get the roll. Juwan mistimed his jump. Steve Blake will be at the controls for the Blazers. He and Dixon played together at Maryland. They know each other's moves. Przybilla sets that pick. Blake turns the corner to Dixon. Good pickup by Houston. There's the miss. The Rockets are swarming defensively. 14 seconds left. The Rockets can go for the final shot. 5 seconds, down to 4. T-Mac down to Swift. Swift gets a little bump from Randolph. And that will do it. So the Houston Rockets put the pedal to the metal in the third quarter. And they go up 68 to 57 as we go to the final 12 minutes of play. Rockets up by 11. Let's take a look at tonight's Wachovia Bank moment.
Well, we actually have 2 moments. The first one being the end of the first quarter. Tracy McGrady for a 3 at the buzzer. And how do you follow that up? Well, you knock down a jumper at the buzzer at the end of the first half. Derek Anderson playing a nice game for the Rockets tonight.
When you have Tracy McGrady to give the ball to in the closing seconds of inning quarter, you're most likely going to make them. All right, Wesley now will give it up to T-Mac. They didn't come and get him. In and out won't go. Stromile Swift with a putback. Boy, you like to see more of that.
Stromile had a huge fourth quarter last game against Sacramento and got this fourth quarter started off with a nice putback.
Down low, and the foul called on Juwan Howard. Howard with a smart foul before Randolph could shoot it. Well, Joe Randolph had position on it.
Yeah, Randolph had the step going to the middle to his left hand. But Juwan has been playing some very good post defense tonight. The Trailblazers have been going at him with Howard. They've been going at him with Patterson. And he's been up to the challenge all night.
Randolph 4 of 17 from the field. He started quickly, but the Rockets had closed him down. And a steal by Stromile Swift. He gives it up to David Wesley up the court to T-Mac for the slam. I didn't know he saw him. He must have eyes behind his head.
I don't think he saw him at first, but he finally did at the last moment. T-Mac streaking down the side for the layup.
Rockets now with their biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Blake in the backcourt with Martell Webster. We have a whistle and a foul on Stromile Swift.
Called Stromile for hitting Przybilla on the back of the head. Przybilla been taking some punishment tonight. Got one to the throat earlier in the third quarter.
2 quick team fouls on Houston. Martell Webster. Blake will give it up to Przybilla. Puts it up with the left hand. So Przybilla now going to try to take advantage of Stromile Swift. Swift can jump through the roof, but he's not as tall. 13-point Houston lead. Just underway with the fourth quarter. T-Mac behind the three-point line, missed it. And Przybilla picks up his 13th rebound of the game. Randolph. And he goes. He's fouled by Juwan Howard. Count the basket. You can't let him get it there.
You can't let him get it that close to the basket, and you can't let him go left. And what he does is he fakes to the middle and goes back to his left where he's at his best. And that was such a quick move that the Rockets could not come down and help Juwan Howard.
Randolph really has a quick move, too. In the last 2 seasons, he has emerged as a big-time player in this league. And as we said, he had off-season knee surgery, and he doesn't feel like he's all the way back yet.
It looks like the leg that he has knee surgery on is still lacking a little strength.
It's down to a 10-point Houston lead now. It was up to 15. So a 5-0 run now by the Trailblazers. 7 seconds down to 6. Juwan Howard on the fake. Goes over Prisbilla. Caught some iron. Swift with the rebound and a loose ball foul on Stromile Swift.
Jeff Van Gundy saying, you got to stop fouling. We got 14 fouls already. And there's only 2 minutes gone in the fourth quarter.
Next foul by Houston. And the Blazers will have the free throw line, although I don't know if they like it or not. They're the worst free throw shooting team in the NBA.
Well, they're going to like it because that's one of the ways they can get back in this game.
Randolph got good position. Forced the shot up and a foul on Randolph. So he was frustrated. Made 2 mistakes. Missed the shot, got the foul. Big Zach Randolph, 12 points, 11 rebounds, but he's got the 12 points on 5 of 19 from the field. Rockets have frustrated him a little bit. They're not even guarding Juwan. He missed it. Tipped up again, and Tracy McGrady got an offensive rebound in the putback. T-Mac doing it all. 28 points.
11 for 25 for T-Mac. He's been scoring around the bucket very easily, but his jump shot seems like it's a little bit off.
He's a scorer, though, isn't he, Matt?
He can put the ball in the basket with the best of them. He might be the best.
Juan Dixon giving it up. Martell Webster, 3 on the shot clock. What a tough shot that was. He missed it. And Juwan Howard with the rebound. Rockets have the numbers if they get it up the court. Prisbilla is trailing. They tried to get it to Howard. Now Swift has it. Swift. And he is fouled.
That fast break did not look very crisp, but it ended up good with the Rockets drawing a foul.
Randolph with the foul. We have a timeout, 8:58 left to play in the game. And the Rockets are up by 12 on FSN Houston. Rockets with the lead, trying to ride it to victory. 8:58 left to play. Boy, check out the turnovers, Matt, or lack of turnovers by Houston.
Yeah, you look at the turnovers there, 5 for the Rockets, and then you couple that with great defense. Portland only shooting 34%. T-Mac getting it done. That's where your 12-point lead comes from.
Luther Head, Yao Ming back into the game. Stromile Swift will stay in it, along with Derek Anderson. Anderson coming out high. Steve Blake picks him up. Now they go to Stromile Swift. He'll work on Randolph. Big move by Swift. Nice pass off to Yao. It seemed like it surprised him.
Yao was looking for the dunk. And all of a sudden he found the ball in his hands.
Sebastian Telfair goes around that pick. They're playing Telfair and Blake at the same time. Randolph shoots it up and in.
Yao and Stromile were supposed to be switching on defense there. Neither player knew it, and that's how Randolph got open.
Now with Prisbilla right behind him now. Fakes him. Takes it to the baseline. Lots of body. No whistle. Harappa with the rebound. Gives it up to Sebastian Telfair. So the Rockets get out to a 15-point lead, but they cannot shake the Trailblazers, and they're back within 8.
There's that guard penetration that Jeff Van Gundy hates.
All of a sudden, that swarming Rockets defense has gone away, and Jeff wants to know where it went. He calls a timeout, and it's a 20-second timeout. So that group that he had in there before playing good sound defense, this group not quite as hard.
Now let's watch this last play. Now Telfair comes off of this pick. There's no help. Yao is not able to get over there. Telfair too quick. Just right to the basket.
Let me ask you, Matt. Yao comes out a little too high on that play, doesn't he? Shouldn't he fall back a little bit?
Well, there's 2 ways to play it. You can either fall back and play kind of soft, or you can go out and double team the pick.
Well, we understand it's a full timeout, so we'll take a break. Blazers on a 9-2 run now. The Rockets trying to score. They go to T-Mac. Why not?
That's a good option.
That's the best option I know of. If you're a Houston Rockets fan, Tracy McGrady with 30 points. He is the only Rocket in double figures.
Well, the Rockets really struggle when he's not in the lineup.
Sebastian Telfair hits a three. That's three. That's his third three-pointer. Luther Head brings it over to T-Mac's side. Yao comes out to set a pick. T-Mac goes the other way for two.
That's unstoppable, Bill. I don't care who you are. I don't care how good of a defender you are. You cannot stop a shot like that.
Well, the Rockets are going to ride him to the finish line because he has the last 8 points scored by Houston. Tracy McGrady is the Rockets' offense tonight with 32 points. Randolph trying to get a little closer on the drive, lays it up, missed it, and Yao Ming has it, and a loose ball foul.
Well, we got a foul, yep.
They pulled him down from behind, you know. Portland wanted a jump ball, but this isn't tackle football.
Yeah, let's watch Yao here. He gets the ball, and there's just contact all over, and then they pull him down to the ground. This game has been very physical, and the officials here with 6 minutes and 45 seconds left looking to clean it up a little bit.
Harappa was called for his 5th foul of the game. That's 3 team fouls now on Portland, 14 fouls on the Rockets. A steal by Sebastian Telfair, and this game's gotten a little closer. 78-71. This is as close as the Trailblazers have been since early in the third quarter.
Jeff Van Gundy about to go hoarse with all the yelling he's trying to do to get his teammates in the right offense.
And Yao with a jumper.
Took Yao a couple minutes to get into the flow of the game when he checked back in here in the fourth quarter, but that time he was able to get the shot to go in.
Went to the bench with 4 fouls in the third quarter, and Dikembe Mutombo played very well. Yao now trying to get back into the flow, as you mentioned. Randolph giving it up. Victor Harappa. Back to Randolph. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Randolph trying to create some space, and a foul, number 5, is called on Yao Ming.
Yao got switched off onto Randolph, and that's a tough cover for Yao. Randolph, very quick player, took Yao to the hoop. Let's watch here. Zach just goes baseline. Yao not able to move his feet quick enough. A lot of contact, and there's the foul.
Well, check out the Guys Night Out game Wednesday, December 21st, when the Rockets host the Raptors. Guys Night Out packs start at $52. They include 2 tickets, 2 double cheeseburgers, 2 large beers or sodas, and 2 Rockets can coolers. And you can get yours by calling 713-627-DUNK or visit Rockets.com. That's a popular item in Houston, Guys Night Out. Guess a popular item everywhere. There's a trip by Telfair. 14 foul on the Blazers, so both teams now will be in the penalty for the final 5:44.
I have a question about that Guys Night Out. Does it have to be guys? What if 2 girls want to go buy tickets?
I don't know why not. Why shouldn't we have girls' night out?
Yeah, there you go.
Good point. And knocked out of McGrady's hands. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
What if you want to take a date? What if it's a guy and a girl?
Well, then the whole purpose. That would have to be another promo. That would have to be date night.
Okay, date night out there.
All right. T-Mac with everybody in Portland running at him except Paul Allen. 34 points for Tracy McGrady.
Wow, Tracy McGrady has put this team on his shoulders. He's probably looking for one of his teammates to go with him here.
Sebastian Telfair back to Randolph, taking it down to Prisbilla off his hand. So a turnover at the worst possible time for Portland. That's 15 turnovers by the Trailblazers, and the Rockets have converted those 15 turnovers into 19 points.
Yes, that Rockets defense has been tremendous tonight. Now, this last 5 minutes of the game, the Rockets cannot turn the ball over. They got to get a good shot every time. And if they can run a little clock, too, that would be great.
And Harappa goes flying. And Yao Ming is called. And I believe that's his 6th foul of the game. If it is, he's out of here.
Yao saying, I was setting a pick, and Harappa flopped.
Well, the Rockets have 30 seconds in order to replace Yao Ming as he goes out of the game. Let's watch it again.
There's Yao down there. He sets a pick.
Oh, my goodness. Now, I apologize for these three officials to Yao Ming. He's set in the lane, Matt. Where can he go? He just simply he didn't get there too late. What's the interpretation here? Explain it to me. You're doing.
I'm trying to come up with one. Let's watch it again here.
Does he get there late?
Yao sets a pick here. He is down here. He sets a pick, and he is slightly moving, but that pick happens 10 times a game, and you see Yao is not happy at all.
I don't understand it, but he's out.
Well, you know,
I don't have to understand it.
You could go through every game and find 10 picks just like that aren't called. And Yao Ming is a superstar in this league. You don't foul out a superstar on a play like that.
And the referees have lost control of the game because Nate McMillan still had his team in the huddle. It wasn't a timeout. The Rockets had 30 seconds to replace him, and yet McMillan took a full minute plus mapping out a play. Of course, that's heads-up coaching, I guess. Steve Blake in the corner, trapped by Houston. 8 on the shot clock. Telfair misses. The rebound to Wesley. Wesley's really played a fine all-around game tonight. Taking it to T-Mac. They're running at him. He goes away from the double team. In the open court, Victor Harappa picks out Steve Blake from the wing for a three. Blake with a three, and here comes Portland. 82-75. That Rockets lead down to 7. It was as much as 15. 4:15 left to play.
And the Trailblazers crowd starting to get into it too, Bill.
T-Mac looking for Swift. He's covered up, going to Derek Anderson. Anderson from outside hits a three-pointer. Oh, what a cold-blooded shot for D.A.
Big shot for Derek Anderson. 7 points in the game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists.
Telfair to the basket. Missed it. Rebound inside by Dikembe Mutombo, and he gives it up to Wesley. Mutombo's really played some big minutes here tonight.
And he's getting those defensive rebounds.
T-Mac rises up for a three, and he misses. Quickly back to Ruben Patterson. Inside to Harappa.
Dikembe and Stromile didn't know who was guarding Harappa. Harappa went right to the hoop.
85-77. 3:14 left to play. Rockets trying to hold on up here in Portland. Tracy has Harappa. Harappa has 5 fouls now. Tracy, see if he makes him work. Goes instead to Wesley. Around the horn, 3 seconds. Down to 2. Derek Anderson misses. And Dikembe with the offensive rebound. Dikembe Mutombo now has come off the Rockets bench for 7 key rebounds. T-Mac with the jumper. Short. Tip back outside. Another offensive possession for Houston. And Jeff Van Gundy wants a timeout. Well, the Rockets having trouble scoring, but Portland even having more trouble scoring. 2:38 left. Rockets trying to hold on. Houston Rockets trying to hold on and win this one in Portland. They're going for their 3rd win in a row. First time this season. Tracy McGrady with 34 points. He is the only Rocket in double figures. And somebody, Matt, could step up and help him here.
That would be nice. What would the Rockets do tonight if they didn't have Tracy McGrady?
Well,
they'd be down by 34, or 24, I guess.
I don't want to think about that anymore.
Pretty amazing player, Tracy McGrady.
David Wesley to the basket. Gives it up to Derek Anderson. Gets it back. A little fake. Anderson fires up a 3. And Dikembe Mutombo with another offensive rebound.
3 offensive rebounds in a row for the Rockets. That lets them run the clock down. Huge rebounds for Dikembe.
Mutombo now with 8 rebounds. McGrady over to David Wesley. Nice little fake. Shoots a 3. Missed it. And tipping it up and in. Stromile Swift.
4 offensive rebounds in a row for the Rockets.
Well, Portland owned the offensive boards early, but the Rockets own them late. And that's when it counts.
You got to make the plays in the 4th quarter to win the game. The Rockets have been doing that.
Steal. Stromile Swift. Wesley to the basket for a layup. They let him walk it all the way in. Nate McMillan has to be livid about that.
Well, this is the way you win basketball games, Bill. You got to make the plays down the stretch. The Rockets have had 5 possessions in a row.
Telfair lays it up, tried to draw the foul, and he did. Nice flop by Sebastian Telfair.
Dikembe not happy with that at all.
Well, let's tip our caps. You know, we've talked so much about Tracy McGrady, and we should, but Mutombo coming off that bench tonight with 8 rebounds, and Stromile Swift with a big offensive putback and a steal. And again, Stroh is in at the end of a game, like he was in Sacramento, and we haven't seen that all season.
And Stromile got 11 points and 5 rebounds tonight, 4 for 8 shooting. And Jeff Van Gundy feels like Stromile Swift plays his best basketball in the 4th quarter, so that's when he plays.
The Rockets, Matt, with 7 offensive rebounds in the 4th quarter.
Wow. Well, they were able to watch how Portland was doing it, so they could figure it out.
Sebastian Telfair in his 2nd NBA season, only 20 years old. He came out of Lincoln High School.
Look at that Rockets bench. All the guys are standing. See, this is a group of guys that, the Rockets' record is not where they want it to be, but they have not given up. They still have high hopes for this season.
Right about where it was this time last year.
See, Derek Anderson had an open shot, but he held it to run the clock. The clock is more important than the points right now.
1:18 left. Dikembe Mutombo going to shoot it from the elbow, and he missed it. Stromile Swift tips it again, and Blake's got it. Rockets lead is 10 points, and Portland wants a timeout. So still just a flicker of hope for the Portland Trailblazers, and they call a timeout with 1:10 left to play. Well, tonight's, folks, if you get the answer to this, Matt Bullard is going to give you some money. Tonight's Landry Signature Group Player of the Game, Tracy McGrady, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists.
Yeah, if you didn't get Tracy McGrady, if you guessed wrong on that one, then you owe Bill and I Bananas Fosters from Landry's. Tracy McGrady, what a night he's had. Carried this Rockets team. He has had some other guys helping him. David Wesley, I felt like, played a very, very solid game at the point guard, and Derek Anderson hit a couple big shots, and Stromile Swift doing a good job in the 4th quarter again, and Dikembe Mutombo coming off the bench for some rebounds. But without Tracy McGrady tonight, Houston Rockets would be struggling.
Well, they would be, but a big one coming up, and this is the new surprise team in the NBA this year, Baron Davis, Richardson Murphy. And they have excited the Bay Area, the Golden State Warriors. And that'll be at 9 o'clock on FSN Houston Wednesday night.
Wasn't a surprise to us, though, Bill. Remember last year at the end of the season, and we talked about how this Golden State Warriors team was going to be a force to be reckoned with, and they haven't proved us wrong. They've been off to a quick start.
Well, when you've got Tracy McGrady, you've always got a chance to win. The Rockets trying to get their 3rd win in a row. They need a stop here. And one stop will just about do it, leading by 10.
With the pick and roll, Joe.
Wesley goes over the pick. Good defense by David. Telfair has to throw it up and missed it. And Mutombo with his 9th rebound of the game. And a foul now as Juan Dixon has to foul, and it'll just be a parade to the free throw line.
That last play for the Trailblazers drawn up very nicely by Nate McMillan. How about this Rockets defense, though? Blazers tonight, 37% field goal percentage. The Rockets are the only team in the NBA to hold every team under 50% this season. That is, the defense is what Jeff Van Gundy hangs his hat on, and that has definitely worked for him tonight.
Well, it's a constant, Matt. If you can hold that other team to right around 40% shooting, you're always going to have a chance to win, even when you don't play good offense. Tonight, Tracy McGrady came to the game, but the rest of the Rockets, well, Stromile Swift came up big there at the end. But the Rockets' defense has held Portland down to 36% from the field and only 79 points. And a full timeout taken by Portland, and we'll take it with them. Folks, we don't put those keys to the game up there for nothing.
Well, yeah, here's the keys. You got to score more than 90 points. The Rockets are 0-11 when they don't score 90. There are 6-1, fixing to be 7-1. That's, you know, a Southern thing. Fixing to be.
Fixing to be. I like that.
Fixing to be 7-1.
Hey, you got that Van Chancellor Mississippi to English dictionary. Fixing to be.
Fixing to be 7-1 when they score more than 90 points.
That's my man Van. And he would be happy to see his 2 WNBA refs taking charge here tonight. Foul called on Stromile Swift.
Well, a couple of the other keys, shoot with confidence. Rockets shooting 45% in this game, so that's good. And then keep the bench hot. You know, Swift came in with 11. Derek Anderson with 9. Dikembe Mutombo 7 points, 9 rebounds.
Yeah, I think the Rockets, of course, team defense is so important to this Houston team. They allow the opponent to shoot only 42% tonight, 37% shooting for Portland. So the Rockets are a little better than that. Of course, the Rockets started in such a deep hole, they really got to work their way out of it, and there is a foul on Juan Dixon.
Well, and they've proven that they can do that. They proved it last year. You know, last year when they had the slow start, and then Bob Sura came back from back surgery.
I'd rather have this guy right here at 27.
Well, you see, Tracy McGrady came into the league at 18. You see where he's at 27. So that's the kind of growth that Steve Patterson is looking for here with the Trailblazers.
Well, Nate McMillan coaching this game like we're back in college. He's calling, he's hacking on every possession, then calling a timeout. He's going to be out of timeouts in a moment. He's called his 22nd timeout. Steve Blake will bring it in now.
Hand up! Back!
44 seconds left. Telfair to Prisbilla. Oh, he missed the layup.
Yeah, he missed it because he got fouled.
Then why didn't you call it when he first did it?
Stromile Swift is called for the foul. That's his 5th.
Prisbilla is not happy. He would rather make that layup than have to go to the free throw line.
We've been in the penalty for both teams since last week. Joel Prisbilla.
The Rockets have shot 26 free throws. The Trailblazers are shooting number 26 and number 27 right now.
Well, Prisbilla, one of the reasons why they are the worst free throw. This, as a team, Portland shoots only 66% from the free throw line. Prisbilla, 47%, and he misses both. And Wesley is a career 82% free throw shooter, so just keep it in his hands.
Well, Nate McMillan is trying to teach his young players how to play the NBA game, but this is getting a little ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. Nate, it's over.
12-point lead. Just let the clock run out.
Well, he doesn't have a player like Tracy McGrady who can get him 13 points.
Yeah.
In 35 seconds.
That's a great point.
Huh?
That is a great point.
That's the only guy who can do that.
Yep. Well, the Trailblazers' leading scorer, Darius Miles, has a knee injury, and he's out for several weeks at least. So Trailblazers really going to struggle without their leading scorer. But, hey, we've got a new player. Graham.
Yeah, Stephen Graham.
He's so new he doesn't even have his name on his jersey.
Stephen was picked up from the CBA last night and signed. We told you about him in the pregame. And his brother Joey from Oklahoma State was drafted in the first round of the NBA draft. Stephen played at Oklahoma State, but not as much as Joey. 6'6", 220 pounds. He was averaging 21 points and about 6 rebounds a game, and the Rockets signed him last night. In fact, they signed him so quickly he doesn't even have a name on his jersey.
Yeah, but hey, he's in the NBA. He's going to play 35 seconds at least. That's great. That's great for him.
Twin brother Joey was selected by the Toronto Raptors in the NBA draft this past year. So it's good to have Stephen Graham with us. They said that, you know, he's a big, strong guy. He's 6'6". He's very strong, and he's improved his shot a lot. One of the reasons he wasn't drafted in the NBA, he was not a very good shooter, but since he's been playing for the Sioux Falls Skyforce, he has improved his shot, and they're going to give him some practices with Houston, see if he can make the team.
You think he packed his luggage for a six-day road trip? 6-game road trip?
Yeah. Sebastian Telfair, that's another three-pointer. That gives him 3 for the game, and they're going to see what kind of free throw shooter Stephen Graham is.
Think he's nervous right now, Bill?
Nah, I bet he is.
Do you think so?
I bet he is.
You think so?
His first NBA game, he's going to the free throw line. He looks pretty calm, though, doesn't he?
You know, you could just tell that Nate McMillan went to North Carolina State with this type of strategy.
Hey, nice job.
Jim Valvano type.
Yeah.
Going down the stretch, just foul on every possession.
Stephen Graham coming in, hitting his first free throw.
Shoot, he wasn't nervous. What? 2 for 2.
I guess I can't be right on everything, can I?
Stephen Graham. Well, you are most of the time. Man.
What's the matter, Bill?
This game was over about 5 minutes ago. And it's taken us
15 minutes to get
15 minutes to play the last minute. Sebastian Telfair will shoot 2. What do you think about this youngster? Think he's going to be an NBA player?
Well, he's definitely going to get a chance to play a lot here in Portland. If you're a youngster and you go somewhere and you get to play a lot, that's going to definitely speed up your transition. If you go somewhere like you look at Jermaine O'Neal, he went to Portland. He came here to Portland and sat on the bench for 3 years.
Well, a lot of people. Well, look at Stephen. He's going to get him another basket with 5 seconds left. He jams it home. So 4 points in less than a minute for Stephen Graham. That point production's pretty good.
He's now the Rockets' leading point scorer per 48 minutes.
Telfair with a miss. And that's the end of the game. So the Houston Rockets win their 3rd game in a row, and they start this road trip off 2-0. Again, the final score, Houston 100 and Portland 86. Tune in for our next telecast Wednesday night when the Rockets take on Baron Davis and the much-improved Golden State Warriors. Coverage begins at 9 o'clock on FSN Houston. Stay tuned now. The Busch Light Southwest Sports Report is next.
And how's it going? I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. Good to have you with us for our Busch Light Southwest Sports Report Houston edition. Rockets a winner tonight. The good times keep rolling for the home team. Now we're going to take you back to the Rose Garden, trying to make it 8 straight wins at the expense of the Portland Trail Blazers. To the Rose Garden we go, where Tracy McGrady back in the lineup again tonight. And the Rockets have won 3 out of their last 4 with T-Mac. And T-Mac with the steal, and T-Mac going the other way. Took it away from Ruben Patterson and then dunked it behind his head. Rockets up 3 in the first quarter. Rockets would outscore the Portland Trailblazers in every single quarter, including this in the first. Tracy McGrady hits the 3. T-Mac had it going on in every facet of the game tonight. He finishes up with 35 points. Rockets in control, led it by 2 here, and T-Mac just too much to stop. They led by 5 after 2 periods of play, and then T-Mac again. The basket and 1. Rockets roll up 11 after 3 quarters of the play in the 4th. Juwan Howard the miss. And guess who's right there to tap it back in? Just pad the rebound stats as Tracy McGrady goes to work for the Rockets and gets the job done. Rockets win it tonight by 14, 100-86. They had won the previous 7 over the Portland Trailblazers by an average of 10 points per game. And they start this 6-game road trip with 2 straight wins in Sacramento on Thursday night, and then tonight they win it over the Portland Trailblazers. 35 points for Tracy McGrady in this one, is 11 for David Wesley, 11 for Stromile Swift as well. As the Rockets with just 3 players in double figures, but they got a lot of scoring all up and down the lineup as they shoot 46% from the floor and hold the Portland Trailblazers to just 38% shooting. Portland just 17 of 29 from the free throw line as well, so they didn't help their cause much in that department either. As we head back out to the gentleman who called tonight's game in a nice way to put some wins back to back to back, the Rockets are doing right now, as we go to Bill Worrell and Matt Bullard. Guys?
Well, you're right about that, Kevin. Of course, Portland with a very young team. We documented that early. And the fact that you just don't have anybody like Tracy McGrady, you just eventually go to him and he wears you down.
Well, Tracy McGrady, obviously the Rockets' best player. The Rockets are now 7-4 when Tracy McGrady plays. And we'll see right here why he is one of the best players in the league. He can get it done inside. He can get it done outside. He can get it done on defense. And then, of course, come down here and show off a little bit. A little behind-the-head dunk. But Tracy McGrady is a player that the Rockets need to play every night, and let's hope that his back stays healthy because the Rockets really struggle without him.
They really do, and of course they would, Dallas be the same way without Nowitzki,
right,
and San Antonio without Duncan. That's just the facts of life. You go with your superstar. But I thought David Wesley really did a good job. He played 40 minutes tonight. He ran the team very well, played some good defense.
Yeah, David Wesley, not known as a great penetrator off the dribble, but playing point guard for the Rockets here, he did a great job of running the team. He kept the team in the offense, got the ball to the guy who really needed it, Tracy McGrady, and really played a great game. Some great assists to Tracy and Stromile Swift.
And Portland trying to shut down Yao with double and triple teams, and so Dikembe Mutombo stepped up big tonight, and 9 rebounds. He came in that third quarter and got the job done.
Yeah, I like the way Dikembe, he just goes about his business. He's a professional. He comes to play every night, and he's got a great job. He's playing behind Yao Ming, who's one of the best 2 or 3 centers in the league, so there's not a lot of pressure on Dikembe. He can just come in and do what he does. Tonight he came in and really helped the Rockets win the game.
Only guy with a better job or you?
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Oh, okay. and wait a minute, Stromile Swift. Let's don't leave him out because Stro has struggled to get into the flow here with the Houston Rockets this season. The last 2 games have been his 2 best.
Yeah, he's been up and down, inconsistent. I think the Rockets coaches and the Rockets fans would like to see more consistency out of him. But last 2 games in the fourth quarter really gotten it done. I think Stromile is starting to figure out what he needs to do on the court with the Rockets.
So now the Rockets will have a couple of more days off as they wait for their next game against the Golden State Warriors. This quirky schedule, they'll have 2 days off, then they'll play Wednesday night, then a back-to-back. They'll be back up here against Seattle. They'll have 1 day off, back-to-back games against the Clippers and the Lakers.
That doesn't get any easier, but 3 wins in a row for the Rockets and 4 of the last 5, so this could be a very good road trip for the Rockets.
Should be, Kevin, and they'll get a really good test against a good basketball team Wednesday night, the Golden State Warriors.
Rockets win it tonight 100-86 over the Portland Trailblazers. Swept the season series last year, took 2 in a row at the Rose Garden, and started off this season with a win there as well, as they have now won 8 straight over Portland. As we head back to the Rockets locker room, and Jeff Van Gundy speaking with the media.
Well, we'll see. It's not like we're going to break up the Rockets, that's for sure. But competition's going up on the rest of this road trip. So hopefully we'll continue to progress and play well.
Start of the second half, it took them 4 minutes to score a point. Was it bear down defensively, or was it just kind of bad shooting on the Blazers' part?
I think we had 2 points. So sort of was indicative of the records of the 2 teams, that first 4 minutes. But I thought the game was competed at a high level. I thought their offensive rebounding, they've done a great job with Joel Przybilla. He's really a good center now, and he's played very well here.
Sorry, if you were asked about Dikembe, what kind of lift did you get from him tonight?
Well, he got some rebounds, which was we were having trouble securing, which that was important. He made his free throws, and that was important. So, when it's hard to have guys out on the floor, especially in combination, that have trouble putting the ball in the basket. And I thought tonight Dikembe found a way to get it in the hole, which was as important as his rebounding.
Can you say something about the new guy, Stephen Graham? What's the reason for the Rockets team to sign?
I don't know anything about him. I just met him today. First day I've ever seen him in my life was last night. So we'll see. He's leading the NBA in points per minute, though.
You guys didn't turn the ball over much tonight, right?
No, hey, that was for us. That was we'll be okay if we can play at that level of, that's an unbelievable level of turnovers. But, anything under 13 for us is good. And so, we were efficient tonight with the ball, and that was important.